the 150th anniversary of the Civil War for Westport, and I didn't feel for my stool, and I went to the floor. So I try to always feel for my stool. The dress doesn't allow that. Hey, Bessie! Bessie! All these people are at our door! What am I supposed to do? It's 1941, and I'm Flisky, McCullen, Hughs. I'm so missing my mama and my papa. They've been gone for a really long time. I'm living with my daughter Bessie and that Dr. Hinkson from Independence, Missouri. That's where we live now. You know, I had to just like go and get Mama stuff. And I had to just get it out so I could think about her. You know, it's been a long time since I saw either one of them. You know, 1941, I heard about that Pearl Harbor thing, and it got me to thinking. Got me to thinking about the Civil War. Got me to thinking about independence, that Battle of Independence. Well, Ma and Pa, they came there in the late 1840s. Pa, he was a blacksmith, and they owned a farm to go with it. He was doing pretty good. You know, back in that day, all those wagons were heading west. They needed lots of blacksmiths in Independence, and he did quite well. Pa's name was William, and Mom's was Mary. She was a Pierce, and they, you know, were doing quite well in Independence. And I came along in 1853. He was doing well enough that my Pa was that he even got his brothers came and helped him with his blacksmithing. You know, Independence was doing real good. Oh my. We lived at Maple Street and Pleasant Street. And those Union troops, they came and they surrounded Independence. We Southerners just couldn't hardly handle that. They took the whole town. I looked out my bedroom window, and there were their troops in my Pa's cornfield. I couldn't hardly stand it because we Southerners sure didn't like that. Well, the minister came to see my Pa, and I overheard my Pa talking to him in the other room. And he said, they're coming, and they're going to set us free. They're going to make those Union guys just go away. Well, I got kind of excited inside, because I thought, oh, those guys have been telling me what to do, and I don't like it. I have to just do certain things. So, had trouble sleeping that night. They said at that first sunrise that I was going to be able to see those horses coming across there. They're going to be coming down Lexington Street. So I got up. I looked out my bedroom window, and I watched as that sun came up. All of a sudden, I saw. It was Quantrill, they said. Quantrill was coming down the road. He was going to save us from those Union guys. They came closer and closer. They got really close to my house. I heard the gun, the shot, the man, he fell. I'd been so excited that they were going to set us free. But that man, he fell over. Was he dead? I don't know. So now I'm mixed up. I was so mixed up that time. It was August the 10th, 1863. When that Battle of Independence was going on. And those other men that were with Quantrill, they came, and there were men all over, and I looked out my bedroom window, and I looked down there, and those men, they were shooting each other. There was blood everywhere. And my Pa, he came up there, and he says, Flisky, get down, those bullets are going everywhere. I'm afraid you're going to get hurt. So Pa and I got down. Went down the steps, just as low as we could do it to those steps. Oh my, I still remember how afraid I was. And we got down there, and my Ma, she was trying to get little Johnny safe, And little Johnny was running all over the place, and I was so scared. So finally, she just laid on top of him. She just laid down on top of little Johnny. We laid on that kitchen floor for a really, really long time. Paul kept looking out the window, kept kind of watching. This went on all day long. All day long. I was scared. Paul finally said, oh, it's clear. We heard the guns. Stop. I said, Paul, I just got to go up to my window and see. I got to see what it looks like out there. And I went out there and I saw those men in gray, those men in blue. They were crying and dying, and Ma and I, being the good Christian women we got our big pail of water, and we went out there, and we tried to help them. We tried to help them. Oh, it was so sad. It was so sad. Hey, Bessie, come on! My carbuncle is just killing me! I think that Dr. Hinkson and my Bessie, I think they're going to put me in that Vale Sanitarium. It's no longer a fancy house like it used to be. It's a sanitarium, and I think that's where they've headed me next. Oh my goodness. Oh. We decided, because I could tell my stories, and my sculpture that they were talking about is out there on the table, and it just tells my family stories. What my cousin and I did is we set out to prove the stories that Grandma told. The stories Grandma told are out there too. Only about half of them were kind of true. As we proved them, it took about 10 years to figure it all out, but as we proved them. But I finally, with the help of Susan, I got my DAR done, so it was really wonderful to do that. But why I chose to tell you about Flisky is because I knew nothing about her. I on the board at the Trails Museum, National Frontier Trails Museum in Independence, and we do the cemetery walk every year. And they give you a little scrap paper, and it says, okay, there's like 3 sentences on there about the person, and then you're supposed to develop the character. So I went online and started researching Flisky, and I found out those details. I mean, we knew that the newspaper article said that she was a little girl in the Civil War in the Battle of Independence, and it gave the street where she lived, and the fact that there were bullets, in her house. There were actually bullets that came through and all, and that her father's cornfield was there. The rest of it I searched for and found out. I don't know if there's anybody in here, because when I did the cemetery walk, there was actually somebody who had, Dr. Hinkson had been the physician of that person.
I saw you there.
Yeah, so Paula saw me there. But where I found that out is the good old death certificates. A lot of those death certificates are free when you get online. Depends on the state, depends on where you go to get it. But that's where I found out about her carbuncle, and the fact that she was in the Vale Sanitarium when she died. So you're next.
Susan, do you want this to pass out?
Yeah, let's pass out the folders real quick.
Okay.
The Vale Mansion. It's the actual Vale Mansion that was turned into a sanitarium. It's gone through different time frames that it was different names.
All the way
You need to go. Okay, thank you for coming too. You want a picture with me?
Yes.
Let's go out there and we'll get somebody to do this picture. Hey, Miss Linda, would you take a picture of me?
Yes.
Would you like to
my camera.
use
a better.
I got my camera.
Oh, okay. Just let Paula do it.
Does everybody have one now?
Start with here.
Okay, my name is Susan Rue, and I was very fortunate that 2 months after my 18th birthday, my mother had my DAR application ready and submitted, and I was approved. And at that time, I was able to go in on a short form. National is no